All right, next let's add some drums and percussion. So the first thing I like to do is just get some kicks and snares on the board. I don't like going through folders that much when I do this. I just have, these are all splice drums. If you just type reggaeton into splice, you can find all these. It's just stock reggaeton kind of style drums. Yeah, here's like a bunch of kicks. And I just like having them in a drum rack like that because instead of like going through and being like, oh, I like the sound of that, and then chucking in your tune and then realizing it doesn't sound that cool, I can just program in a 4/4 kick or program in a Dembow snare pattern and then just try it with different drums until I find a thing I like. So yeah. Also, this is my weird OCD color coding. It's usually kick red, percussion yellow, vocal stuff kind of pinkish, and bass is always orange. Organization is great, guys, because when you go back a year from now and try and find this beat to track it out or whatever, you can find all your instruments, and it saves you 20 minutes of just trying to figure out what the hell you did. Let me grab that snare. So reggaeton snares. Oh, I like that. All right, I'm not even going to try and play that in. We're just going to do a really simple Dembow. So let me do like a little mini lesson on the Dembow. So Dembow comes from a Shabba Ranks song called Dembow, which is the. So that was, I don't know if that was the first song to use that rhythm pattern. I mean, it's definitely not. It like the pattern itself goes back to West African. Like I can show you that pattern. I mean, we could do a whole 20 minutes on the Afro-Caribbean roots of like all the different drum patterns. But really all you gotta know is for dancehall and reggaeton, that 2. All right, so it's just it's a dotted, it would be a dotted 8th note pattern. So that's with the pattern on the 1, but just realize that the 1 is the accent, so that like everything we're gonna do later, or as I go into this, is gonna be based on this little thing of like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But for now, let's just drag this down to that snare like. Yes, that's nice and chill. That's like a good intro snare. Let's try that with just the bass line. Yeah, and so then everything else becomes accents around that basic 3 beat motif. Okay, so I like that. So let's get some drums on top of that. We can start bringing in percussion. Random thing, I tend to just never swing the snares. I'll swing other stuff, but for some reason, whenever I tried, like when I first started making this stuff, I was like, oh, I'll swing it out. It's Latin. It's not, it is, but it's not. Like a lot of the stuff's made in Fruity Loops, so like you can have hard 16th note swings on other stuff, but it's like the rub against that main pulse that makes it sound interesting. And that's like as Khaled would say, a major key right there. Is like you don't have to swing everything, but it's good to swing some things. And sometimes just making it sound robotic can sound kind of cool by itself like that. Let's get a couple of percussion samples in here. So let's get a hi-hat, another hi-hat, little roll, little kind of rim shot sample. again, following that pattern of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The accents on the one and the one beat, and then the three of the beat, not on like the 2 and the 4, like a house or a hip hop beat. So even without a kick in, actually, I'll put the kick in, even though I kind of like to just do the, just to give you a reference for this. So I'll put a kick in there. So remember, it's 1, 3. So boom, ba, ba, ba. So you've got the bass and the pulse, but so we want to try and accent that with other stuff. So you can kind of just use the space after that and just do a little pickup. We can even try the hat straight across. Maybe bring this down on the upbeat, because that's also, there tends to be a lot of like high-end stuff on the kicks, or that kind of just makes the groove work better. You can probably bring the levels down on that hi-hat. Great, and then let's have a little fun with that rim shot. I'm not even sure, like I think it's weird. I found like so many variations of this in sample packs. It's like literally it's a chit. Like, I don't know, is it a rim shot? Is it a tabale? Like, who knows? All right, cool. So let's give that like a bit of swing to that. So I'm going to go right to MPC. Let's just do 16th note. What I tend to do is just drop the heaviest one on there. And then when you go into the groove pool, turn the velocity off and bring the timing all the way down. And now since this is max and this is min, you can just dial it in. Okay, so just a little bit, like 10%. And now we're gonna have to have a little switch ups for this. So we're gonna drag this across, and I'm gonna take this, consolidate it, and then I wanna have like a second part for this drum line where the snare gets a little heavier. So we'll just take this guy, bring it up one. This is kind of just your power snare. And of course, it doesn't line up. Let's try that again. One more time with flavor. And let's turn this on 16 note quantize. Cool. So I'm gonna take that. I don't want the second snare to have the little fill on it. So I'm just gonna take the straight Dembow and copy it out. So now we just go through. That's pretty cool, yeah. So now if we just listen to the whole phrase all the way through. See, a little variety. Let's also put some fills in here. So you got that little chit. So it's just a little roll. And this one's kind of cool because it's just the roll's baked into the sample, and so it's a little off time, and that can be kind of cool. Let's try up on the upbeat. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. We're going to do that on every and 2 bars. And then for this one, we'll double it just to kind of give something that rolls around when the beat rolls around. Cool. And oh, and let's hear it with the sample. All right, so that's the percussion. Next, let's do like a quick temp mix on this before we arrange it out.